Hey everybody, good. Let's see if I can get some better lighting in here. Ooh, that's bad for the YouTube. All right. So how's everybody doing? So I am going to give a few minutes. I am on my YouTube and my Facebook channel. I'm trying to work this out with um, trying to do better with my YouTube channel. Trying to jumpstart what have you. So how's my Facebook friends doing? I hope you all are doing well. Just give me one moment, please. As you'll be able to hear the noise in the background, you know how it is when you're in another country. And I'm right here on a busy street. But I wanted to talk about something. Um, I just really wanted to talk about something. So, for my YouTube people, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and share this video. I have not been on. I've been doing well for the past few days while I have some downtime. Just sort of just um, freelancing, basically. Just coming on to chat with everybody. Hey, what's going on? Coming on to chat with everybody about just life and how we only have a few more days in this, a few more months in this year, and how we're going to live it. On my Facebook page, I got while they are baking pies, fanning flies, and telling lies, this is what you should be doing. And I also want to respond to a video that I saw of Bishop Carlton Pearson. Very impactful, very powerful, actually, extremely powerful. When I saw his video just last evening, hold on 1 second. Okay. When I saw his video last evening, and I know he's been sick, he has cancer. He was talking about, he was saying how he had prostate cancer, but this time I don't think it came back in the prostate. Now it's around his liver or something else. Um, so, and he's facing some challenging moments, and seemingly he has embraced his end of life. It could be, and it couldn't be. He could very well pull through. I really wish he would pull through. I wish he could. He's a very valuable voice for our time, and he also um, gives a history of life and the Christian church and religion and things of that sort. And I really appreciate it. I follow him. So my question would be, and I think I said this before, is what are you going to do with these last 3 months, less than 3 months that you have? Probably 80 some days now, a little shy of, probably a little more than 80 days. I think when I made the other video about 83 days, I think we may be at 81 or 80 days left in this year. And it is it's so vitally important that we really strategize. And I know people like to wait until the beginning of the year to make all of these resolutions. I think it's whatever they call it. They want to do better, and they make all of these promises to themselves. But somewhere down the line, you end up not showing up for yourself, and end up not really doing what you say you're going to do, because you made all these New Year, what is it, resolution? I can't remember what they call it. I don't make them. I just set out goals. I write out my plans, but I do not wait to the beginning of the year. Some people do not know what they're going to do or what their life is, even what their life looked like on paper, because it always looked better on paper. But at least you have something written down. They don't know what their life looked like on paper for the following year. And I think it is detrimental to us as a society, as a culture, when you just living life haphazardly. And when you're just letting life happen and you have no plans for you, your children, your future, there's just no plan in place. And I think it's important that we do get a plan in place. And so you have to ask, with the short amount of time that I have in this year, what am I going to do with that? What do I intend on accomplishing? I know people want to accomplish a certain amount of things in businesses, but my question would be, what are you going to do to enhance you? Your desire for next year or for the remainder of this year, is it to enhance who you are? Will it make you a better person? Will it cause you to be more sympathetic, empathetic? And are you building up yourself? Not tearing down someone else, but are you building yourself? Are you positioning yourself? Are we positioning ourselves for whatever to come? Are we positioning ourselves for a rainy day, a cloudy day, a stormy day? And do we position ourselves for a sunny day? And so I think we miss so many times, we miss it. We miss out on our own lives because we're so busy living life for somebody else, to appease someone else, to follow their drum beat, to follow to the beat of their drum, to follow their music. Instead of making your own music, making your own beat, then you end up living your life according to how someone else subscribed it to be. Yeah. You're living off of somebody else's subscription, from somebody else's subscription. And so when do you take your power back? When do you wake up and take back your power, your way of living, instead of living the rest of your life how someone else wants you to live it? Now, with that being said, I want to talk about how I felt when I saw the video of Bishop Carlton Pearson. I love him. I follow him. I love his his view. I love his ability to tell you the history of things, because there are people who would just jump into something and start speaking something, repeating what somebody else said, but they do not know the historicity of it, and they are what you call it, parroting. They're parrots. They only repeat and have repeated what everybody else has said, right? But I love his in-depthness. Hey, Levon, I love what he does. So when I looked at the video of him and near death, yes, he's near death and he has embraced where he is. Oof, he has embraced where he is. And that is very powerful to me. When you know that you don't have much time left, but you can still come and you can speak freely and speak of your experiences and still leave people with something to hold on to, and still speaking sensibly and still going down his path and his soul mission. And I know there are people who think he's off the charts and he's falling off, but no, this man has gained wisdom and he has experience. He's a very intelligent man. But something stood out to me in his conversation, his video just the other night that I saw. I saw it the other night. This man has embraced life. I think he's 70. And he talked about being mortal, his mortal body, right? How all of us one day is going to leave here, and how all of us will slip out of here. I promise you, and I've said this over and over, none of us, not one of us, will get out of this world alive. Not one of us. We're going to leave here. I promise you. We just don't know when. We don't know. I mean, if, like for him, if the doctors have given him a certain time limit, it doesn't mean he's going at that time, because I remember they gave my mama 3 years to live and she lived 6 years. They said she wouldn't be here if she lived 3 years. She wouldn't be, if she lived 3 years, she wouldn't live past that, but she possibly won't make it 3 years. But my mother lived 6 years after they told me that she wouldn't make it past 3 years, even if she made it to 3 years. So whatever time we have left, what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with, if the doctors told you today that you have 1 week to live, how would you live your life? And that's how we have to really draw it out. How are you going to live your life? If the doctor said you only have 1 week to live, how would you live that life? What would you do for that week? How would you strategize your life? What are the strategies you would put in place? What are the things that you would do, and what are the things that you wouldn't do? All right. You have to ask these questions because we do not know. We don't know when that bell is going to ring in our life. We don't know. And this is why it is imperative that you live your life every day as if it's the last day and live it in peace. Are you going to live the rest of your life in quarrelings, disagreements, hate, strife, being seditious? Are you going to live it in stirring up, always into something? Negativity surrounds your life, in your life. Are you going to live the rest of your life depressed? Are you going to live your life by a system that doesn't support you and that doesn't bring good fruit? Do you live your life on the edge? How? You have to ask yourself how. And so, of course, on my Facebook page, I said, while they are baking pies, fanning flies, telling lies, this is what you should do. You should really live your life. And anybody that's causing chaos in your life, the best thing for you to do is to walk off. Because 9 times out of 10, you've already shared with them what it does to you when they bring this type of clamor, drama to you. You've already explained this is not their first rodeo. And so when people keep violating and crossing lines and disrespecting your boundaries, then you have to just walk away from them. And it's not that you don't love them. You can love them at a distance. But when your peace is being disturbed, when your sanity is being disturbed, and they're trying to uproot your peace, the thing that you've worked so hard towards and so hard to attain, you have to protect it at all costs. Protect your mind. And if that means you have to go and get some type of medication, I prefer, all natural stuff if possible, but get whatever you need to help balance you out. There's a lot of imbalanced people because of the trauma that we've experienced in life. What are you going to do about that? What are you going to do with the rest of the year that you have left? Are you living it in reverse? So many people are living life in reverse. They are living going backwards and not forward, as the old people would say, forward. They're living backwards. They're living life in reverse. They're not enjoying life because they are living according to the pattern of somebody else's design. That somebody told you this is what you should be doing the rest of your life. But if it's not working for you, then you have to strip that from your plan, strip that from your strategy, and do what makes you happy. Don't get upset with people because they got freedom and they can travel and they can go, they can take vacation, they can build houses, they can buy houses, they can buy land, they can renovate, they can flip in the real estate world. You cannot use the word flipping. You shouldn't, not if you're a licensed realtor, because it is a negative connotation of overpricing and asking for more than what the property is worth. They call it flipping, but license law in Georgia, it is not a proper word to use. You should use renovation and not flipping. Yeah. And so don't get upset because you see somebody else doing something maybe perhaps that you are not doing. The best thing for you to do, I mean, this is what I would suggest. Find out, but not by being nosy, find out what from them, what is it that you need to do to be able to have a little enjoyment in your life. Like, when do I book flights? When is the best time? And you can Google that actually. I mean, everything is out there. Everything is out there. People wonder if you book at the right time and you book ahead of time and you look at where you want to go and then start saving towards that. Don't wait till the last minute and say, oh, I want to go to Africa. If you can do it, do it. If you got a plan for it, then please, by all means, plan for it. So there are people who will make up stuff about how you're doing what you're doing. They just don't think you could just be, I mean, legally doing it, or they think you're doing some type of underhandedness. And a lot of times when people feel that way, they are actually looking in a mirror and they're thinking you're doing what they're doing. And that's not the case. So what are you doing with what are you going to do with these last 80 some days left in this year? Are you planning to live a better life? I would just suggest strip all the drama, if you can, away from your life. Like, really, I enjoy my peace. I enjoy where I am in life right now. I mean, I don't have everything I would like to have, but what I do have is my health, my strength, sometimes a sound mind. Some people think I'm crazy. No, I do have a sound mind. I'm able to judge things and balance and weigh things out. I'm able to make sound decisions. And if I can't make the sound decision, I'll bounce it off. I have sounding boards, people that are sound and sane. I try not to make decisions when I'm exhausted, because a lot of times you're making decisions out of your exhaustion. And I try not to make decisions when I'm emotional about something, because you'll make an emotional decision. Write down what you want to do. Write it out, how you want to live your life out this year. Like, write it out. And if you want to better yourself, please do, and do the necessary things to better yourself. If that means pull away from social media, detox from that. If it means changing your eating habits, detox and making changes for the betterment of your health. A lot of times we self-inflict. We eat all the wrong stuff, and then we ask for prayer, and we tell people whatever. But don't self-inflict in these next 80 some days. Please let people lie. I said it. They can bake pies, fan flies, and tell lies. Let them continue to be who they are, because that's who they are. And they're not going to change until they make up in their mind that they're tired of being the way they are. And then they'll take the necessary steps to be something different. But sometimes people become so accustomed to lying, they don't know how to tell the truth. It's not in them. The truth is not in them. They don't know how to tell the truth. They don't know how to do things the legal way, because they've been so accustomed to doing things the illegal way, and cunning and underhandedness and being slick and sly. There's some people been doing this for years, and they don't know any other way. Like, they're uncomfortable with telling the truth, in fear of what it's going to make them look like. Right? While we're on this topic, okay, so back up. So when I looked at that video of Bishop Carlton Pearson, it said to me, man, time really is short. We don't have a lot of time on this earth. Even if you live 100 years, that's not a long time. And so all of a sudden, a peace came over me. Another level of peace surrounded me, because it let me know that this stuff that we be concerned about, the stuff that we're trying to handle, some of this stuff is not even worth it. It's distracting you. It's a distractor. It's a distraction. Don't let it distract you from living life. People will come together to rally against you. Pay that no mind. Let them be, because it takes a lot of energy for you to come together to see somebody else's demise or see how you can negatively impact a person's life. That takes a lot of energy. It takes less energy in just loving people, leaving them where they are, accept them for who they are, and keep it moving. I accept the people for who they are. If you're a liar, I accept that. That's you. If you are a schemer, if you are schematic, I accept you for being a schemer. I accept you for being underhanded. I'm not going to allow that in my space and let that trouble me and cause me to lose sleep, run your blood pressure up. That's them. Let those people be who they are. That's who they are. Trust me. When they get tired, because one thing about karma, hey, Cynthia, one thing about karma or the law of reciprocity, if you're going to reap what you sow, it's going to always come back to you. It's going to always come back to them. So whatever seeds you're putting out, if it's seeds of discord and you're always manipulating and always into stuff and always stirring up stuff, it's coming back. That stuff is coming back, y'all. And so don't worry yourself. Don't lose any sleep over people rallying against you, baking pies, fanning flies, and telling a whole bunch of lies. That's the lie they have to live with. That's the pie they have to live with. And all of those things, they have to live with it. That's in their consciousness. They're still asleep. They're unconscious, really. That's in their DNA. That's in their bloodline. And people are asleep. They're not conscious. Let people be. Let them be. Don't live your life according to their script. And don't lose any sleep over the script they're trying to write for you. And don't let them portray you as them. But that's what they'll try to do. So let me see, even in Carlton Pearson, he says, I have accepted this. I may or may not live. He said, but I'm okay with it. You know, he was saying, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with if I got to leave. This man is literally dying. He said, and that chemo is not really working for him, and he could have a very short time. And for this man to embrace the oncoming of death, because he is, and we are mortal beings, we're going to all leave here. Yes, we're going to all leave here. We're going to all get out of here. We're not going to leave this world alive. What are you going to do with the time you have left? Are you going to live in peace, at peace, or are you going to continue to cause chaos? So get your business straight. This is the end of the year, 80 some days left. How are you going to live these last 80 days, right? Cut off drama, cut off the clamor, the stuff that when people bring disturbance in your life, just walk off. Because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, this is not the first time. This is not the second time. You have told these people over and over what this does to you, and they keep violating and crossing boundaries. They don't respect your boundaries. Walk off. You can love them at a distance. You can forgive them, but you don't have to dine with them. You can forgive them, but you don't have to walk and shop with them. Forgive them for the sake of your peace, for your peace sake. Walk away from it. And don't rehearse it in your mind. Don't try to get them back, because you know there's a get you back in you. Oh, I have fought with that. I can get you back, but I can get you back way worse than you got me, because what I'm going to get you back with is with the truth. But sometimes you have to just sit back. Don't get them back. Their own words going to entrap them. Their own deeds will entrap them. Trust and believe. I've seen this on so many different levels. People, they rally against you and they end up falling in the ditch that they dug for you. Hey, Vita, they end up falling in a ditch that they dug for you. Don't worry yourself with that. Don't lose sleep over it. Go to sleep at night. Turn your AC on. Well, some of y'all got heaters on now, but I have my AC on right now. Why? Because it's really warm here where I'm at, right? Don't even try to listen. They have crossed those lines for years and you've allowed it. Now take your ducks and move them to another pond. Turn around, grab your things and walk off. Because as long as they are who they are, and as long as they keep crossing those barriers, thank you for the star, as long as they keep violating and disrespecting the line that you told them not to cross, the line that you drew in the sand, you said, now this is what bothers me. And if they keep doing it, they do not care. And they will rally against you and they'll try to see how they can bring you down. Listen, go to sleep. Really, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Don't rehearse it in your mind. Stop rehearsing what they did to you in your mind. Stop saying it to yourself. Stop saying what you're going to say to them. Because that's now, you got to get this out of you. People will drag you into their stuff your entire life if you let them. But we have 80 days left, probably 81 days left in this year. Stop letting people drag you into stuff. And then while they're dragging you into their stuff, they're stripping you of your peace, stripping you of your sanity. They are wiping your mind out. Now you've been distracted because what they're doing is a distraction. And now you can't really focus on what you need to focus on. Now you're depressed. You're upset about the decisions that they've made in their own life, and they're trying to drag you in and drag you under. Cut people off that's trying to drag you into their stuff. And if you can't, then, hey, you're going to forever be in their stuff. And guess what? When you walk away from them and cut them off, rest assured, they are going to pretend to be the victim, and they are going to pretend you did this, that, and they're not going to tell the truth because the truth is not in them. They're going to pretend that you did such and such, and now you're such a bad person. And now family can't get along. No, you were the disturbance in the family. You stirred up all that stuff. And then when people start walking away from you, now you got something to say and think. Now you played the victim when you were the predator, when they were the ones kept stuff going that's keeping people in an uproar. See, I don't lend my ear to the garbage. I don't. I will cut a person off quickly. I'm not lending my ear to garbage. I've come too far to cultivate where I am. I cultivate my peace. I cultivate my sanity. And if you're not helping to cultivate that or adding to, and you're subtracting and you're dividing, subtracting, dividing, I'll walk away from you. And it doesn't matter if we did come from the same womb. It doesn't matter if we ate at the same table raised by the same parents or parent. It doesn't matter because, see, blood make you kin, but it doesn't really make you family. I mean, well, hey. It makes you kin, but it doesn't make you family. Hey, Catherine, what's going on? Telling the people how to live the rest of this year while people are baking pies, fanning flies, and telling a whole bunch of lies. You have to find out what you want these last 80-some days, 81 days or 80 days left. How you going to live your life? And if it's full of drama and chaos, then you got to find a way to cut that off. And sometimes it's cutting the people off that you love. It's cutting the people off that you said. You give people chance after chance. Oh, well, this is family, so we're gonna no. We can't. We are kin, that's for sure. Came from the same parents or parent. But when you start affecting my peace, your peace you give me in times of the storm. All right, yeah, that's it for that. Leave them where they are. Because I got my peace of mind, and I tell you, it would never go on sale. It ain't ever going on. It ain't ever going on sale. I never put my piece on discount. I'll never. It'll never be a blue light sale, red light special, blue light special, Black Friday special. My piece was earned and cultivated by me for years. It took me years to get here. And I'm not going to let what somebody do in one day to strip me from years of my peace. Hey, DeAndre, how you doing? I ain't going to ever, I don't care who you are, mama, daddy, brother, sister, uncles, aunt, nieces. Now, I love my people. Listen, hear me. I love my people, but I love my peace. I am in South America. I'm in Colombia. Yeah, I've been here for a while now. So I love my peace. I'm not going to allow anybody to strip me of my peace, right? So listening to Carlton and how he has embraced his fate, his mortality, because we're all mortal. He says something, man, that just blew my mind. He said that's where they get the word mortgage from, right? Mortality. We will all leave this world, but we're not going to get out of here alive. So you have to decide how you're going to spend the rest of your life because, yeah, what part of Colombia? Probably in Medellin or Santa Marta, somewhere, Cartagena. We will never get out of this world alive. And you got to figure out what you're willing to put up with and the sacrifices you're willing to make for you. You have marched to the beat of other folks' drums far too long. You have lived by somebody else's pattern that they weaved and wove for you. I'll send it to you, Vita. It was powerful. He has embraced his. I'll send it to you and I'll inbox it to you. And it just gave me such peace because it said to me, man, hey, Daryl, what's happening? It says to me that drama is not worth it. Stress is not worth it. People are literally dying out here, and y'all fussing over who shot JR. Y'all, people are fussing and fighting and scraping over titles, and folks are dying, like literally dying, and we could be next. You fighting over who has the biggest church. You fighting over what choir can sing better, who has the best sopranos. You fighting over stuff, and people are really dying. I remember a family member of mine, I won't call the name and I won't even mention the gender. In the middle of a pandemic, I had just left New York and I came to Florida because the house was vacant. And I said, people are dying in New York. And I remember kind of hanging out with my cousin. Y'all see me on here with cousin Betty. And we just started. I just actually, I was cooking. I invited her over. I did some oxtails, I believe. I did some oxtails, or maybe I did some. It wasn't goat. I think it was oxtails, or maybe I did. Regardless of what it was food involved. And we were sitting there, and I said, "Hey, let's go live while we're eating." And we just went live, and that's where this whole live thing came from between me and cousin Betty. It just kind of went on and on and on and on. It was a pandemic, and I had a relative had an issue with that. I had a relative who really had an issue with me hanging out with Cousin Betty. And they had an issue with me. Whatever their issues were, they really had an issue with that. And so when I called them, hey, and when I responded to them, and because they had been angry, and I could tell because of the lack of communication, whatever. And I said, hey, I'm just calling to check on you, see how you doing. Well, how you doing? Just carrying on. All this time in their mind, they were already in conversation within themselves about why me and Cousin Betty was going live and how we were hanging tight and all of that. And this person really did not like it. And I said, well, what is it that what is it that you got against? Hey, Shirley, I said, well, what is it that you got against this whole process? And I said, well, what did Cousin Betty do to you to make you act like this? And so I asked that question several times, and the person said to me, well, she thinks she know everything. Like only her opinion matters. And so I asked again, I said, so what did Cousin Betty do to you? Because if she did something to you, I'm going to question her and ask. And the same thing came up was, well, she thinks she's better than everybody. She thinks she know everything. Hey, Ransom, what's going on? I said, and then immediately I realized you got an issue with somebody and you can't even tell me what the issue is. Do you know people will dislike you and when you question them about why they dislike you, they can't even tell you because they have already filtered it through their psychoticness or their the psyche. Sorry. Hold on, let me turn my light on because it's a little dark on YouTube. So 1 second. Y'all look at this fruit I bought. I bought a nice sour sop today. Look at this sour sop's fruit. I've never seen one this huge, not in the States. I've got them, they were smaller. But look at this fruit. I just took a little break to tell you this. Look at this sour sop. This is good. It is known to kill cancer cells. It has good properties in it. So if you can get some, please find it. Take you some and just try to get it in daily. All right. Catherine, they don't have a reason. People, they don't have a reason why they dislike you. They don't. And they don't have a reason. And they said, well, she just thinks she know everything. But that's not what she thinks. You think that. And so therefore you got an issue with your insecurity. Oh, Catherine, you never had soursop? It is amazing. It is sweet. Listen, soursop is something you should. I've been eating soursop for some time now, but this is the first time I saw it this huge. It's huge. That's a huge soursop. Y'all see that soursop back there? I'm normally getting the hand size. I never got it this size. And I go right down. Let me show y'all. Oh, well, my YouTube people can't see it. But I go right down here. You see where that tree is down there? This is my view from my window. Well, there's a guy that sells fruit under there. Yeah, maybe I can do the thing from, I don't know if my people, hold on 1 second. I don't know if my people's on, but right down there, those are that on YouTube. You see that tree right there? There's a fruit guy. He goes Monday through Saturday, and he sells fruit. So anyways, of course, I got watermelon. I got the sour sop. It is amazing. So anyways, people will fight you for made up reasons. Like they don't even have an answer for why they dislike you or why they fight you. Yeah, what part of Colombia is your daughter and her husband is in? Deandrick? Yeah, y'all, I'm going back and forth between YouTube and Facebook. I'm trying to do better with YouTube. So people would fight. And so I brought that up because I think it's important that you will have family members that would dislike your relationship with other family members. And then they don't have a reason. They're just jealous or insecure for whatever reason. And so they don't have a valid reason. And I said to this this family member, I said, I've asked you 4 times why you don't like her, or why is it you got an issue with this. And so I proceeded to tell my family member, I guess I tell you what, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna delete you and block you off of Facebook because that's gonna help you. I said, but we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are literally dying, and you are being this petty. Granted, I just left New York because I was living in New York as well. I was in New York. And New York was bad with the pandemic. Y'all remember that. So I had left New York. They'd even start flights from going out of New York to Florida. And I couldn't even get to Florida because they wouldn't allow flights to come to Florida because New York, the pandemic was so bad, they were afraid, right? So when I got there, I started gardening. I'm going on and on because I had no intentions of talking about this. I started gardening and we just started collaborating. And then people really started hating that. They hate to see people unified. And so what I said to this family member, I said, I'm going to help you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to block you from Facebook because it's going to help you because we're going to be on Facebook. I'm going to block you from Facebook. And as a matter of fact, I said, you should get in a book. You need to find a book to read. They don't like themselves, Catherine. I mean, it's sad how people are. Like, they don't like you and they don't want nobody else to like you. They want other people to feel just what they feel without you violating them or done anything. See, it used to be a time you said, well, why do they don't like me? I ain't did nothing to them. You don't have to do anything to people for them to dislike you. They can just dislike you because dislike is in them. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with their lives. They're not happy with anything they're doing. So they don't want you to be happy either. And they'll do anything. They'll try to set all these roadblocks. They'll set these roadblocks. And then they'll try to poison the ears of those that are close to you to get them to feel about you the way they feel about you. But you got to be somebody like dumb or ignorant or stupid to dislike somebody based on somebody else's dislike. And especially when the person hasn't done anything to them, right? So I said to them, I said, we're in the middle of a pandemic. People are dying. As a matter of fact, we lost a family member, right? We lost a family member. You're grieving and you should be seeking counseling. And then they told me God was their counselor, and I told them to get another God because this God wasn't working. The God they had was just not working. And it has been a ongoing quarreling and snapping of the teeth and devourment, and because they hate to see people get along. They hate that. And so I had to step away from that family member. Now, what I did do, I text them occasionally and say, hey, I'm just checking on you, seeing if you're okay. I didn't want to hear their voice. I didn't want to be drained. I'm recovering from all of the trauma that this world is going through with the whole COVID thing, and we're just going through. And I'm still grieving about my mother. And I'm just, it's a lot going on, and I didn't have time. So what I did, I just cut them off, and I'm good at cutting people off now. I don't have a problem. I can drop you like a hot potato. But I don't do it in a way that, well, I have done it in a way that I either cut you or butcher it. I could cut the relationship or I can butcher it. And there are two ways. It's going to hurt regardless. But when you cut something precisely, you cut it. But when you butcher it, it kind of destroys everything around you. Blood get everywhere. You butcher a relationship. And by the time I butcher something, I've come to the mindset, I don't want it anyways. I don't ever want this relationship, whether it's family, friend, foe, because sometimes you got enough enemies in your family. You don't need any more. I mean, you don't need any more enemies outside of your family. And we pray for our family. So I'm saying this to say, hey, Ransom, what's going on? I'm saying this to say there are 80 days left, around 80, 81 days left. What y'all going to do? Like, who do you need to cut off? Like, who are you going to stop letting them control you? They have you like a puppet, and they pull your string and they get you to go left and go right. They put it on your emotions. They're telling you what to do. They're driving you. They're pulling you. Who do you have to cut off? Sometimes you got to write stuff down and get it out of you and say, I got to cut this person off. I don't hate them, but I got to cut them off because they're causing me too much emotional pain, psychological pain, physical pain. They're causing me my peace of mind. They're stressing me out. And you got to say no. No is a complete sentence, and it is a very powerful word, and it will help you get on your way to peace. Say no. Really. Can I do this? No. Can I come over? No. Can I borrow this? No. You got to do it. You have to do it. Parents, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be out of here. Parents, please, if you have children, please, you already know your children. You know who's going to do what. You've been watching them since they were a kid, when they were little. You know which one. You need to go ahead and make a decision who's going to take care of you, right? Go ahead and set it up. You already know who's going to be your full power of attorney. Sometimes it's more than one, right? I remember when our mother, before she became ill, way before she became ill, like 2011, we did, my mother came out of the hospital, got her to the hospital. We got her out 2.5 weeks later. They told me that she wouldn't live past 3 years, even if she lived 3 years. But go ahead. You know your children. You know who's going to take care of you. You know who you need to say, okay, this one is going to do this. This is going to do this one. And sometimes it's going to make other children upset, but they should be comfortable enough with your parents to sit with the mother's decision or father's decision. Every parent knows their child. Well, they should know them, right? And don't wait till you get down sick before you try to decide who's going to be your power of attorney and blase. I know with our mother, before she ever got really sick, she'd already made her decision. So what we did, and I was the power of attorney. I was our mother's power of attorney. And I did not wait until she became deathly ill. I did not wait until she was in the hospital. I did not wait until she was on her dying bed. I did not wait until she was had so much medication going on and she didn't know what she was doing. I didn't do that. Hear you. That didn't happen. We went down to the law office. We drove down there to the law office, right there in Palatka, and we did the paperwork. And we did the full power of attorney. Now you got to know there's more than one. You want the full power of attorney, that they make decisions about everything. And sometimes you can have more than one child on the power of attorney as a power of attorney. But you need to make sure that they get along and they jail, right? You need to know who's going to really take care of you. This is important because we don't know when we're leaving here, right? And you know your children, you've been watching them since they were kids, babies. You've been connected to them since you were carrying them. So you know which one is going to do the right thing, which one is going to do this, that, or the other. So I remember driving my mother down to the law office. We drove down there, and the attorney talked to her, asked her several times, Are you sure? She said, yes, I am sure. I want to make him my power of attorney. They asked her again, are you sure? Are you in your right mind? She said, oh, absolutely, I'm in my right mind. I know who I want to take care, who I want to make decisions. So then the attorney brought in a witness and asked again those same questions. She said, I'm very sure about what I want. So she wasn't sick. She wasn't out of her mind. She was not under duress. Y'all hear me? She was not under duress. She was in her right mind. And the attorney did the paperwork. We paid for it because it cost, right? And we did what we needed to do. Parents, please do the right thing. Know which ones are going to take care of you. Know the ones that will love you and take care of you, but they don't have the time to pay attention to the details. You got to have the person that's going to pay attention to the details of your life. It's not that the other ones aren't good enough, because you can use more than one, right? But make sure if it's more than one, that these people don't clash and they're not in some type of power struggle to see, because somebody gonna have issues with if they're insecure. Well, I don't want, make the decision together if you can make the decision together. But don't get people that's gonna be at war with each other to go on your power of attorney papers. Again, when I drove down there to the law office, me and my mother, she was not under duress. She was not on medication. She was not out of her mind. She was very, very aware, very cognizant, walked. We got out of that vehicle, went to that law office. They asked her all the right questions. They called a witness in, asked her the right questions, and they saw that she was able to make a decision, and we signed off on those papers. Again, she was not under duress, and she was not out of her mind. So parents, don't wait until you get on your deathbed to try to make a decision. You better be making a decision now. You know who's going to take care of you. You already know who your children are. You know who's going to handle your business. You know who's going to come and see about you. You know who's going to be concerned about the very details of your life. And if you find those that can collaborate together and they get along, and there are people siblings sometimes can't get along because it's a power struggle. Somebody feel like, oh, because I got this, or because I'm who I am, I should be over everything. No, I didn't even struggle with that. There are people who will. So don't put those people on there. You need somebody that's gonna jail, that's gonna be able to make sound decisions, not based on their ego. So again, when I became our mother's power of attorney, she was not under duress. She was not out of her mind. We drove down, went to the attorney's office, did it the attorney way. We didn't do it in no hospital. We went to the attorney, paid the money that needed to be paid, and handled the business that needed to be handled. Please handle your business, parents. Please. Don't leave stuff loose and hanging, because they're going to fight over it. All right. I just needed to say that. I miss my mother. Seems like when parents die, children go to acting crazy, don't they? So anyways, I love y'all. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for those that are on my YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Those of you that are on my Facebook, do the same thing. Like, subscribe, share. I'm trying to really get back into the mode of things. I've lived life. I've experienced life. I've had some hiccups. I've had some roadblocks, and still having them, right? So I continue to press forward and move forward to the mark of the prize of the high calling. All right. I love y'all. Thank you for chiming in with me. I look to see you all very soon. Daryl, what's going on? All right.